We better check in on our beaches now, and I'm joined by the Waverley Mayor in... That's what we say in Sydney. She's really the mayor for Bondi and Bronte, some of the most famous beaches in Sydney. Her name is Paula Masselos, and thanks for joining us, Paula. I've got to talk to you about these beaches. Now, we've got problems with beaches right around the country. A very famous footballer, Nat Fyfe, from the Fremantle Dockers, was in trouble for surfing south of Perth. We've had people kicked off beaches at St Kilda in Victoria, and you've closed off Bondi Beach, and on the weekend you even closed off the famous Bondi to Bronte walk. I mean, where are we at with this? Surely people, if they're not in big groups, can use our beaches.
Hello, Chris. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Look, the experience is, unfortunately, that people are not actually abiding by social distancing quite a bit of the time. While the majority of people are, there is a core who are not. And the experience shows that if a beach is open, people will flock to the beach because they're attractors. Now, while things are closed, Council actually has the power under the Local Government Act to actually be able to enforce that. But when a beach is open, Council has no powers to actually move people on. And that's the sticker. So,
well, shouldn't that just be fixed so you get the powers and you can have more staff down there? There's plenty of people looking for a job just to police it. I mean, everyone comes back to that one day at Bondi Beach, but that was like day 2 of social isolation, and it was a beautiful warm day, and people hadn't gotten used to this. But I think people know now that, you know, you've got to be in your family group or just a pair of people and social distancing, and it's very healthy for people to go for a walk or get in for a surf.
That's right. I mean, I certainly agree. We, as a council, we're very committed to in helping people's well-being, and we believe in exercise. But we're actually asking our residents to stay away from the main attractors like the Bondi to Bronte walk and explore their own local suburbs. If you're going for a walk, go for a walk around your area and stay away from those very popular things. The Bondi to Bronte walk is an attractor, and we have people coming from all over Sydney, and that was the case on Friday. There were a lot of people coming on the walk. They were not social distancing. They were not actually listening to advice of the rangers. They were climbing fences, and unfortunately there were behavioural problems which led us to having to close it. But we are monitoring on an hourly basis, and we want to have a nuanced approach to how we're managing the coastal walk, and we're also closely in liaison with the police, and we're taking a risk mitigation approach. So we were actually able to open the walk again, which is good news, but we keep monitoring it, and the moment that it becomes too congested and we can't abide by the social distancing rules, then unfortunately it will need to be closed.
Yeah, nobody pretends this is easy, and no one's dealt with this before, but we've got to do the best we can. And what we've seen in the past is when some beaches are closed, then more people go up to other beaches that are open. Same if you shut off that coastal walk, there'll be more people going to other parks. So we've got to gradually understand that most people are getting this. I was in Centennial Park on the weekend. I've never seen it so crowded, but everybody was keeping to their own space and doing their own thing. It seemed to me that everyone was actually abiding by the rules, even though the police seemed to object to anyone sitting down.
Yeah, well, I mean, as I said, we're certainly with a lot of our parks, they're available for people to use, and people are, and I'm delighted that people are abiding by the social distancing rules in our parks. But when we've got lovely days and people know the beach is open, the last thing we want is people to get on a bus and come and visit us. We are encouraging people to stay in their own areas, but we also are encouraging people that if you need to go for a walk, then keep it very, very local. We're certainly in contact with the mayors of Woollahra and also of Randwick, and we're working in concert with each other to make sure that we actually have a coordinated approach to this. And I and the General Manager are always in constant discussions about how and when we will be able to open our beaches again. So we're constantly monitoring. I must also say that we're also in very close collaboration with the Department of Health and the police, and we're taking the best possible advice in the way we're managing our open spaces.
And you did set up, not your council, I don't think, but certainly the health department set up coronavirus testing at Bondi. There'd been a bit of a hot spot there with a lot of backpackers in the area. Has that all, is that going smoothly, and has that sort of outbreak calmed down?
Well, we're still seeing an increase in the number of COVID-19 cases, so we're in the thick of it, and this is why we want to be able to ensure that the actions that we've taken to date are maintained, because we are starting to see a flattening of the curve, but there's still a way to go. And I have to say, the support we've been getting from the police in helping us with this has been absolutely extraordinary and fantastic. And likewise with the Department of Health, they have been absolute Trojans. I actually went down there the other day at Bondi to actually see what was happening, and here they are over Easter. We've got staff from the Department of Health testing people. We've had anywhere between 400 and 1,000 people a day go through the pop-up clinic, so residents are using it, and I really sincerely want to thank the Department of Health for their support in helping us manage this.
Thanks for joining us, Paula.